Well, good day to you all. My name is Craig Blanchett. This is the Crave Optimal Health weekly podcast, and super excited for you to join us today. If those of you that are listening online via podcast, or for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, welcome. We've got a great chapter today. Actually, we're talking about Dr. A's Habits of Health, and it's chapter 10. So that's page 116 in the Habits of Health book. And so you may want to jump over there and grab that so that you can go through this with us. One of the things that I've been doing with lots of my clients, and everyone that's a coach is also a client, by the way. And so I don't know if you realize that, but just because you're a coach doesn't mean you stop paying attention to your own health. And so everyone that's on this journey, what I've been doing is having people listen to a podcast a week and have their book open in front of them and go along as we point out certain things. We're trying to create some interest, because if you learn the concepts that this book talks about and you apply them, your life will improve quite a bit. So I'm super excited about that today. So I want to welcome the rest of the gang here. We've got quite a little team here that's joined us today for this lesson. One of the main things that this particular chapter is about is the last 3 or 4 chapters have been building of different components. And in this chapter, Dr. Anderson puts it all together. Healthy meal plans for optimal health. So this is kind of where the rubber meets the road. It's the recipes. It's the tools that will be helpful in creating foods in a convenient way. It's the portable cooker. It's the portable blender. I bought this little thing off of Amazon, and it's battery operated, and it's a little hand whisk. And I stick that down in my little fuelings, and it makes a nice cappuccino and different things like that. A wok, a bamboo steamer, lots of these different types of things that are sort of necessities, or they're great for being able to not only have food that tastes good, but that's convenient, so that you're not at the end of a day, you're not so worn out that you just grab, top ramen or something that's just so bad for you, that you actually take some time because you can cook stuff. He talks about, zipper style plastic bags, a bamboo steamer, a portable cooler, different things like that. So I'm going to toss this out to the rest of the gang here as you are looking through this. Does any of you have some things that jumped out at you that really made a difference and that you've applied in your own lives? By the way, welcome everybody.
Yeah, Craig. My wife and I, we decided a couple summers ago, because we camp a lot during the summer, and we decided to actually bring things to keep our health going that would make it easier. And so I know this sounds a little crazy, but we bring a little tiny small fridge, like a little dorm room type fridge with us. That's one of the things we pack. And obviously we have an outlet, or we bring a battery that we can put an AC unit thing, converter, so we can have that refrigerator. The other thing we do is we bring a blender with us so that we can blend. And that blender, my wife she loves these certain shakes in the morning. And long story short is that keeps us on track.
Excellent. That's great. Anybody else has had some things that they've kind of gathered that's been beneficial for them to make this easy over time?
Well, it mentions on chapter 10 the bamboo steamer. And we have one, and it's up in the shelf somewhere. So I guess I should pull it down. But what I've been enjoying is any vegetable that I like squash or, zucchini, cabbage, whatever. I can chop it up in big chunks and then put it on a flat pan with I use one of those things. I don't know what they call it, but you don't have to put parchment paper down or anything. It's plastic, I think it is. I don't know the names of it, but it keeps my pan clean. But anyway, I just put the vegetables out on there, and then I pour about a tablespoon or so of olive oil, and then salt and pepper, and just mix it up, and I put it on broil, and it's great. Very healthy.
It's the magic liner. Yeah, we'll have to find that. Yeah, Dr. A also talks about here on page 118, it says your customized daily meal plan. And he says, what does a day on your new meal plan look like? Remember the basic principles of reaching an optimal weight. Eating breakfast. Eat a small amount of food every 3 hours. I don't know about you, but a tip that I would offer you is I forget sometimes as I get busy or I get focused on something else, and my body will say, hey, it's time to eat, but my focus overrides that. And so I used to set alarms on my phone. Well, that worked until I got up, 30 minutes later. And then I had to reset all my alarms, and that was too much work. So I've used my phone, and I just do countdown timer for 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh.
And I've been doing that for 6 years now, 6.5 years. And so I like 2.5 hours because if I'm a little hungry and I look at my watch and it says I've got 15 minutes to go, I'm good to go. I'm within my zone, my window of 2 to 3 hours. So, and then he says, eat a healthy meal at dinner time. And that is affectionately what we call a lean and green. And so that's something we talk about. And then he talks about your combination of fruits and vegetables. And of course, this is if someone is in the sustainable weight loss phase, or sometimes it's called optimizing. You're going to have fruit. And so a combination of vegetables and fruits would be about half of your plate. He calls it a small paperback novel of about 100 pages. So that's half of your plate is going to be a combination of fruits and vegetables. And then, of course, he has the asterisk there. Remember to use fruits sparingly during the weight loss phase and choose only those from a glycemic index of below 30. And if you're doing the 5-in-1, we recommend no fruits to optimize that. But then a healthy low glycemic starch, about the size of a tennis ball, and the healthy protein about the size of a deck of cards, which is another 25%. And then he has a couple of sample meal plans there, what to eat at breakfast and your fueling break. When he talks about PCMR, that's basically shorthand for portion controlled meal replacement, or now we've called those fuelings. And so those are a really nice convenience that has lots of nutrition combined in there as well. And so anybody have some comments on setting up your plate or the timing of your meals or anything I've just talked about that's a personal story or connection to that? Want to jump in? All right. Maybe you guys are all having your fueling snacks. So this is a chapter, actually. Here's one that I'll talk about. This is one of the most popular pages in the Habits of Health. It's page 120. So if you guys will jump over there to 120, I'd love to hear some of your favorites of these 100-calorie fueling breaks that Dr. A's put aside. And so I'd love to hear some of your favorites that you come up with over the years that you like. Go ahead and let us know. How about you, Danielle? Do you have your book out? Are you on those? I'll share my screen as well. Do you have a couple of those that stick out to you that are favorites?
Oh, absolutely. I love pistachios, and I love the fact that there's 29 because that sounds like a lot. So that makes me feel like I've had a lot. So that's one of my favorites. And then I absolutely love doing the portobello mushrooms with cheese, and I put them in my little toaster oven, and I put a little bit of basil on it also, and it's just awesome.
Great. That's a great idea. How about you, Diane? You got some of these that are your favorites?
Yeah, I just because of the simplicity, I love doing 10 almonds, and I do count them out most of the time. And then
when you eat those almonds, do you do one at a time when you're eating those almonds, or do you just throw them all in your mouth at the same time?
It depends. Sometimes
okay,
it really does depend. And then I do like apple with almond butter. I do that a lot, and that's pretty easy. So
Excellent.
Right on. I like to use a rice cake because I like crunchy, and a rice cake's only 35 calories. And then I put like hummus on it, or avocado, and or some type of a low fat type cheese on it. And that really is good for balancing my blood sugar. I always find that for me, I need to add a little protein almost to everything to stay full.
What seems like too, if you had the rice cake by itself, now that's probably not going to be as balanced on your blood sugar. But when you add the avocado, you add some fat in there, you add some protein in there.
Mm-hmm.
I find I just found at Costco a dip that is hummus and avocado mixed with a little bit of zing, a little bit of spice to it, and so that's a nice combo. And then I'll take those baby peppers, like the box of little peppers, and dip those in there, and that's a nice snack that I've used. Who else has a couple favorites here you want to share with us?
I really enjoy celery and peanut butter, and celery obviously is like a complete negative calorie intake, but it's also like really good. And for some reason I loved it forever. But I'm kind of obsessed with peanut butter. And from what I heard from our last meeting that I'm human, so that means that that's okay. But it's really calorie dense. And so there's a peanut butter powder from Winco that I really, really enjoy, and it's really low in calorie. And I can have quite a bit of it for, a quarter of the calories as I would having the same amount in maybe an Adams peanut butter. And I actually really like it. And I put it in my shakes and stuff, but like that's something that's kind of my go-to. Like if I can't get a fueling, I find celery and peanut butter or almonds, or some kind of nut or something to keep my protein and my healthy fats up. But I don't know. I'm obsessed with peanut butter, I guess.
Sure. Well, thank you, Christina, because I think you're probably resonating with everybody here. I see a lot of heads nodding because we all think that peanut butter is the magic spread. And that PB2 is, or it's called PB Fit. And it's similar to PB2. Yep. And
it comes in a chocolate peanut butter too, y'all. You can get with chocolate.
Yeah. And I don't know what the nutritional content of that particular one. We've only tried the other one, but you can mix some of that up in advance in a little cup, and then you can, have your celery or whatever it might be that you would want to dip in there. But I want to turn your attention here as we're just kind of closing up the chapter 10 here. There's a lot of great information in this chapter, and I would just really want to encourage you to go in there. Dr. A has some different, 13 days worth of meal plans where you can set up your breakfast, your 6 fuelings a day to walk through 12, 14 days worth of meals. But here's a couple things I wanted to highlight is he says, so it's on page 128 at the bottom. So there you have it, a very simple method to help you reach and maintain your optimal weight while learning crucial dietary habits. So this is the piece that I love about Dr. A. He's not teaching us weight loss tips or tricks. What he's doing is he's teaching us actually in the process of losing weight, he's giving us healthy habit structure. So this is not a diet because we're actually learning what we're practicing in the weight loss phase are actually healthy habits. And so he says eating every 3 hours, eating breakfast, making healthy food choices, eating low glycemic foods, and the thing that I think is the most important is planning your meals. Don't leave your meals to amateurs. Don't leave your health to people that only are concerned about convenience and taste. When you go to a work party and they have a spread of food, they're primarily thinking when they buy that food is, what will people like? They're not, I bet, thinking about what's going to be healthy for everybody, right? They may not even know. So don't leave your health in the hands of health amateurs, nothing personal to anybody, but take it in your own hands. And then here's the checklist for change. You've created a micro environment of health. So that's a small environment of the people, of the things that are directly around you where it's healthy. You've gone shopping and stocked your pantry and refrigerator with groceries, and you've used a color-coded shopping system. You've taken the health assessment in Dr. A's Habits of Health, the companion guide. That's on chapter 4. You've bought a journal and are regularly recording your daily eating habits and activity level. Merely having it in your mind, well, you just see, is that working for you? What if you were to do something you've never done so you can get something you never got? And a journal is powerful. And then the last few things here, well, you can just kind of finish that out. They got a great story there on page 129 with Randy Gray. And I'm hoping as we close out here, anybody have a comment they want to just leave as a big takeaway from chapter 10?
If you don't plan, you're going to fail.
Yep. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Exactly.
And just one note, I think outside of planning, which is the big thing, is to know that if you are on a fat burn program, some of these are not in the fat burn phase. Some of these are in that more low calorie, maintain your weight phase. So talk to your coach if you're working with the coach on which of these snacks are appropriate or which ones might need to be modified for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask if this meal plan is more towards like maintenance rather than actual like fat burn. So that's a good answer.
Yeah. I mean, this would be healthy for anybody, but if you have the power of a coach and the 5-in-1, that's going to be quicker. It's going to be better. I think more consistent, predictable results. And this system is going to be really great to help inform you for long-term habits and after you've lost your weight. So excellent. Well, we're going to wrap chapter 10 up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for all your attention, and we'll see you next time.